we just finished it, and it was really good, really good, really good.
Also on Dex.
Yes.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
Okay, so summary.
Like rapid fire? Okay, so, no, I'm not doing it that way. This is another one where it was split pretty well between both halves, which is nice to see this kind of balance, so we get to see both stories progressing at a pretty good pace.
And there was action.
Yeah.
Really good action, both.
So what we saw was the ninja that were woken up by Faith, and she's like, we gotta go.
Going in the wrong order. So they captured
Oh,
her.
okay, we're not even in that order.
And she was tied up, and it was clear that she was being devious.
Yes,
and because her mask was in the belongings, and Lloyd had the choice of will he use the mask or not, and he didn't, and he foiled her plan because she did something to it, or it was fake,
or she knew something would happen if he used it.
Something.
I wonder what someone with Oni blood using an Oni mask would do.
Oh, true. Yeah, it probably would have like corrupted him in some way. Because even Mistake was like, "That's
Onis aren't supposed to wear Oni masks." Like,
yeah, that's not really a good thing. Be prepared for the consequences and all that. So instead of doing that, they decided to try and use Skylar's absorption abilities. And they did a plan of their own. And on the flip side?
On the flip side, so they were still en route to go to the Nest of the Firstborn. They took down the map from the door, and they had their own little personal map. And they were going, and as they were going, the little tracker beacon that Jet Jack had set on the one of their pod racers helped them locate them, so they had this insane chase sequence and they through a mountain. And
and when they hit the border, they were like, yes, we'll continue on, and she was like, you're so happy, because she's like, I hope you said that.
Jet Jack. Jet Jack learns that Heavy Metal is a woman, and he's all like, why'd you let her and not me? So he's like, well, whatever, whoever fucking catches her
will be my number two.
So.
And I'm actually quite surprised at their loyalty to each other.
I mean, only she heard it, right? Like, it's not
Daddy No Legs.
Daddy No Legs and Muzzle heard it.
Yeah, they heard it. So I was kind of expecting them to be more competitive with each other to try and get the second spot, but that didn't happen, which was a bit disappointing. But yeah, that fight was real good. Kai had a lot of moments that
They actually all had a lot of good moments. And they ultimately...
Jay didn't really. It was more cool.
Yeah,
and
Jay did. You're forgetting a major one that I really liked. We'll get to it after. But during the process, they did also practice getting Wu on a dragon. He tried to ride a lightning dragon.
Oh, yeah, we skipped.
Blue Noodle Boy.
Yes. And once he went onto it, the dragon flipped the fuck out. He's like, Oni! Yeah. And he was like, yeah, and then he broke the chains, and Wu fell, but Faith
caught him. Yeah. And then, so after the whole chase sequence, they get away because Faith breaks apart the diesel.
The jet chick.
Jet Jack.
Yes. Grabs hold with the chains to Faith, and Faith, before being pulled off, decouples
the diesel lot.
Yeah, so it's just the front area.
Which they were all in.
Yes, because they switched over to it. So now the beacon being on one of their flying things is no longer on them.
Yeah. So but Faith has the map.
Oh, shit, she does.
So even though she's like, he doesn't know where it is.
When I was wondering when she mentioned that, like, don't you have the map?
But she probably wasn't thinking about it. She was thinking, you guys know where to go, keep going.
Which is also true, but...
They might have a head start, but they're also probably going to want to save her.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want to leave her.
Yeah, he was all like, I need Faith, I need you, and that was really cute. But...
He's precious.
Yeah.
I did like...
Oh, and the whole, you need confidence. I really like the Kai. No, I'm just like, no, confidence.
I like that each of them is teaching Wu something he taught them, which is nice to see.
I'm glad Kai specified that it was confidence to be a ninja, not just confidence, because he is confidence in general.
He's cocky. What I was referring to with Jay was when she woke them up and Jay's just like, what? Whatever
Oh no, I
happened
meant
to
during
breakfast.
The fight.
Oh, okay, because I like the whatever
'cause
happened to breakfast being the most important meal. He's like, you're having a fit.
Wu just kind of falling
asleep
asleep
again.
again.
Falling back asleep. He was so tired.
But I was talking about during the fight. It was mainly Cole and Kai really doing things for the four. Like,
I mean, Jay had that great moment when they were jumping over the diesel lot. And
he was.
Like, we should teach him how to drive next.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like that Faith taught them how to use the chain guns.
Whoever does it first. And Zane was there. I'm like, he just can't calculate it.
And then he does. He's like, does this mean I won?
And then they're like, no, I think
you were participating.
I thought you were the judge. And he's like, okay.
Yeah, he's like, how did he say it? It was like, oh, very well then.
Yeah, very well then. Like, all happy, and they were like, yeah.
They're like, yeah, he's. I like that first time that Kai went to fire it, he caught it around Cole, and just like, at least you caught the master of rock.
Yeah, I said it before he did. I'm like, he did get a rock.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty funny. I liked that.
And I did like the fact that Kai, when he did do it first, he's like, yeah, I did it first, and then he was pulled to it, so he still messed up.
Master fire! It's now the master shit, and they like,
just get skidding to it.
He's being like a shitbag about it first. But they all had some really good moments. I like that. I liked Cole talking about cake. It's like, why did I ever give up cake? And then Jay's like, because your body is a temple. And he's like describing, he's like, get yourself someone that talks about you the way Cole talks about cake.
Yeah, that would be the ultimate love that you could receive.
I also like that while he was describing it, you saw that like Jay and we were picturing it too, and they're like, fuck yeah, cake. So it was like reasonable stuff, and it's just like, oh, to have a bed, to have food, it's like cake.
Okay, so back to the other side.
Okay.
So with their whole plan of Misake
pretending to be Harumi and taking Skylar.
And I did like the fact that at first her voice was her own, but then she kind of like got into practicing and then matched the voice
She did listen
well.
too a little, so I think there might be something to do with that they listen and then they can mimic it.
Well, obviously, like, you can't do it any other way.
If they just shapeshift directly into that person, they would ideally sound like that person, so I think they have to like mimic.
That makes more sense. I like that they did
because she also, when she pretended to be Lloyd, she didn't talk.
True.
So I think that they like listen and then they pick it up and mimic it, which is interesting.
And so, she takes Skylar bound up as like this is who I was managing to catch.
Yeah, I caught an elemental master.
Yeah, so they go off, and then Dareth is like jamming out, and
the weekend whip.
Yeah, and
in his defense, he didn't fuck up where like most people thought he was going to.
She offered him power, like any power he wanted, and he's like, nope, the power to make you shut up. Yeah. And then because he's close,
she was able to like fight him while tied up to a chair.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, you did like what Nia said, where it's like, time to be quiet one. You gotta face the corner.
Yeah, she like put a gag on her and then flipped her around.
Just like face the corner. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, like a timeout.
The sequence where Mistake and Skylar up like in front of Garmadon was so tense too.
Yes, and then the whole Ultraviolet
was
mentioning like you didn't say that she has the power to absorb. You should back up, Garmadon.
As my advisor not telling me that is very ill-advised.
Yeah, and then Harumi like showed up real fast right behind him, and that's where it ended. And
well, she probably ran after escaping, whereas they walked and took their time to like figure it out. I don't know how easily they're going to get out of that. They're probably captured, and we're just gonna have like
I don't know, probably.
So that kind of sucks.
I think though Mistake could probably get away.
Mistake could probably get away, but they seem to know that Mistake was an Oni, so I think Garmadon might know. Because Kayla, when they went to raid it the first time, he's like, grab Mistake, and it's like, why? She's just some old lady. And it's like, no, she's more than an old lady. So someone knows that she's an Oni.
I guess it would make sense, because they're really old, they would see that she is also...
Especially since they've been around her for so long, like, they would definitely have some
They might not know through their...
Well, they might know through their father.
Possibly. But if anything, they would have, like...
They would know that she's been around as long as they have, which is abnormally long.
Exactly.
So, Because she was also like, had you ever wonder how, like, Wu and Garmadon have lived this long? And it's like, it's their Oni blood. And it's like, does that mean Lloyd is going to outlive all his friends? It's like they're all going to be dead, and he's just going to be like, this is fine. You didn't think about that?
Bye.
Bye.